Derrick Harmon was named a starter today by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Talked to the D-line coach, and the D-line coach, yeah, no, he's our starting left defensive end. Obviously, they're talking about in the Steelers' base 3-4 defense, but he's the starter. Um, I don't. To me, G, that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise because who else were you going to put there? Was Loudermilk going to be there? I don't think so.
Hell no.
So him being the starter, I mean, you drafted him to be the starter. My question is, because we're in our sub package defense a lot, just like everybody
Yeah.
is like, so who plays nose and who plays the 3 technique then?
Yeah.
Is it Cam? Is it him? Like, what do we do? Are they interchangeable? That's what I really, really want to see happen. So we'll figure that part of it out. But as far as everything else, naming Harmon, I mean, it's good to see, but I just wasn't surprised by it.
Well, B, I'm just this is just my thinking. With our starting 3 defensive linemen, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, and now Harmon, those guys are interchangeable. And that's how they should be worked concerning camp. And camp, those 3 guys, and then some of the backup guys, they need to be able to rotate them out of the 0-1 technique, 3 technique, 5 technique. Need to be able to move them all up and down the defensive line.
Correct.
And that's so important for us in the season because Cam still we know long in the tooth. But when we can switch guys out and then you can insert guys like Black, you might be able to insert a guy like Sawyer. You might be whoever if Loudermilk does get some snaps, you might be able to insert him. That's pivotal, bro. That's pivotal. So I'm not shocked that he's the starter, but I'm glad that they named him right away because most of the time when our first round draft picks hit right away, we know we got one. And I think we got one in Harmon, bro. I think we got one.
Yeah, I do too. One thing that I saw today, and they mentioned, say again, the D-line coach, you're talking about Y.A. Black. Black is not listed as a nose tackle at all anywhere. He is listed as the backup defensive end, playing a 4-eye technique. Now, he said that he was going to play all up and down the Steelers' offensive line. But you look at anything, they said he is the defensive end. I think it's a mistake.
Yeah.
I think it's a mistake. And I know they have a backup that can play nose tackle. I totally understand. But, I mean, I don't know. The guy's big. I think you got to put him in there at nose tackle and get Keanu Benton out of there. At some point, you're going to have to do that, man. You can't keep having Keanu Benton in as your nose tackle, man. Daniel, I think it's Uleke or Ulale, whatever it is. I apologize. I know I'm butchering his name. Yeah. They said he's the backup nose tackle, but I don't know. We'll see.
Black is our largest defensive lineman, period. And it's not even really close. I think he outweighs everybody by at least 20 pounds. At least everybody by at least 20 pounds. So you got to be able to give him some snaps to see if he can get push in not just a base run defense, but on passing downs. Because you already know most NFL quarterbacks don't do well with pressure directly in their face.
Correct.
Most NFL quarterbacks do well. If they can see in the middle, they're okay. The outside, they'll catch a glimpse here or there. But so if we can get a guy that can give us a push in the middle versus just where the guy can just pick us apart, that's going to benefit the Steelers. So I hope they move Black around at every position. But then once again, there's another versatile piece that you can move up and down the defensive line to put us in position to get W's in 2025, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like I said, I mean, he's going to learn all the lines. He's going to play or all the positions on the D line. He's going to move up and down. I personally just want to see him in nose tackle. I want to see him there. But there's nothing wrong with being versatile though. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being versatile. So but he's just that big stout nose tackle that the Steelers have been looking for. I think he could do some damage there if that was the case. Jessica brings up a point, said, would they figure that out in minicamp or is it not depth enough? As long as they have enough time to adjust, it becomes evident in training camp. I think it's still early, Jessica. They're just putting people at positions and seeing what they can do. So I still
Mhm.
think it's early to figure. They have plenty of time to figure it out. You know,
Uh-huh.
I think it's early. And again, you're right. It's just a mini camp thing. You got to put some people somewhere. So
Yeah.
I agree. That's a
Yeah.
good question, good observation there. Lonzo Dunn, another with super chat, said, "Can we see the line being Benton, Black in the middle, and Harmon?"
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, not without Hayward. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe in the future we could see that,
Yeah.
maybe next year, but you got to remember Cam Hayward is there.
Yeah.
So I'm not taking him out of the lineup if he's healthy. So
Yeah.
that's not something that we want. So, and not my opinion. Not
But
my
B, as the season goes on, we gotta rest Cam at some point, bro. He's a
Yeah.
wily old veteran. As the season goes on, there's gotta be a game or 2 where his snaps go down or a game or 2 where he don't play. It
Well,
has
I
to be.
think having more versatility and guys that can do more helps because you can have a bigger rotation. You can when you
Mhm.
have that rotation, that's going to help Cam too. Another
Mhm.
thing that goes unmentioned about helping Cam is the damn offense staying on the field. You know,
Mhm.
that's a thing that's going to help Cam Hayward more than anything is just not being on the field as much because the offense, because think about this. You go out there, you play, you come off, you go, and then you come off, and then the offense goes on an 8 game or an 8 play drive, and
Yeah.
then you can sit out a whole nother series. That might be 15 minutes of actual time that you've been sitting on the bench. That's a lot for anybody, but especially a 36-year-old defensive lineman. So just having the offense be out there is going to help Cam Hayward, man, more than anything, G.
Yeah, complimentary football is big in Pittsburgh in
Oh, yeah.
2025. That's big, and you're going to hear me and B talk about it a lot. Complimentary football is huge in 2025. So you're right. If he sits a series out, we get a 8 to 10 play drive. Hell, we could stall out or get a field goal. You got a couple of TV timeouts. The next thing you know, he sits out a series. That's 15 minutes. He wipes his head off with a towel. Say, "Hey man, I'm ready to go, and I'm straight." So yeah, you're right, B. You're absolutely 100% right, man.
Yeah, they that's complimentary football, man. That will help Cam more than anything. It's just and again, like I mentioned, it doesn't even have to be scoring drives. Just be on the field. Just
Yeah,
be on the field,
yeah,
and if it doesn't get you a scoring drive, it doesn't work out, okay, that's fine. But
yeah,
don't go all these 3 and outs that the Steelers went on last year. That's what killed the defense, especially at the end of the year. They were just dead tired
yeah.
on the field too much, especially at the end. Just
That's
dead
what.
tired. Quick question though for you, G,
Mhm.
is that what are the expectations for Harmon this year? And the question for you too, chat, like what are your expectations? Is like, is there a sack number? Obviously getting through it healthy, but
Yeah.
is there a sack number you're looking for? A disruption? Like what are you looking for out of Harmon this year?
Well, like I said, the first thing is for him to play in all 17 games and be available to play in the playoff. That's number one for me.
Correct.
Number two, I would say if there's a sack number, I got him somewhere between 7.5 and 8.5. If there's a sack number that I would like to see, because I think he has the potential to do that. And when you pair him up like with a Cameron Hayward and a Keanu Benton who does sack the quarterback. Now, because B, in a typical 3-4 defense, how we play, they can't double team everybody. And if you got
Yep.
Watt and Highsmith coming off the edges, that means Harmon's singled up. So
Yeah.
if he's singled up, you get there. So I would say between 7.5 and 8.5. I definitely need him to be a run stopper. 100% run. Nobody is rushing for no Bill 50 or plus on us no more. That's why we drafted you in the first round, dog. We stopping these teams getting a Bill 50 and going on 12 play drives where 9 of the 12 plays was a running play. And
Yeah.
then now our defense is exhausted and we go 3 and out the next series. Hell no. So your job is to get in there and stop that damn run. And you need to punish Big Boy in Baltimore. You need to punish him. But it's the first time he goes up in there, crack his ass. And then that's what I'll be like, that's what I'm talking about. That's why we drafted you in the first round. Punish Big Boy. No more teams gets no Bill 50 rushing on us, man. That's my expectation for Harmon.
Yeah, CID said it best. Big Pun is right on top of them. Be disruptive. Be disruptive. Be healthy. Get through it healthy, and be as disruptive as possible. You know,
Mhm.
command a double team if they want to single block you. Get into
Yeah,
the backfield, make the quarterback flush a quarterback out of the pocket. Make
yeah,
the plays when the plays are there. Finish tackles. Just be disruptive. If he's
mhm.
that was what was missing. Then you
Facts.
have another disruptor in there. You had Cam. They started doubling Cam. You didn't have anybody else that could be disruptive inside. That's what they need. Somebody
Yeah,
that can be disruptive. I love it.
yeah.
I love it. So,
Facts. Total facts.
yeah. Now we do got some people in here. Mr. Angry Man, which that kind of goes with the name. He says, "Hey, I'm not trying to be a downer, but I'm not paying Watt 40 million. I'm sorry." Well, first of all, it's not your money, so we get it. You're not paying them.
Yeah,
Um, I understand that, but why? Like again, I keep trying to get past this to people. Why do you care so much about the dollar amount? Care more about the percentage of the cap.
that is
Care
correct.
about that. Like if you care about that, then you'll be okay. But
Yeah.
if you get caught up pocket watching somebody else, I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I'll give him a huge contract as long as we got a void year in there. If
Yeah,
if there, I promise you, I'll
yeah,
give him a huge con. If we got a void year in there, yeah,
correct.
because that means I can keep kicking the money down the road. I can keep
Yeah,
kicking it, which keeps us out of cap purgatory. So yeah, yeah, I give him the bread if that's the case. But I need a void year in there, dog. I need a void year. You got to give me a void year.
correct. Felicia, thank you for coming in tonight. I know you got to be at work at 11. We appreciate you joining us and have a good time. And we will talk to you soon. Thank you for showing up and supporting the channel like you
Mhm,
always do.
mhm.
Um, Anyway, Mel, I know you said the Steelers have no cap. The Steelers absolutely do, man. You got to
Yeah,
stop saying that, man. We covered. You may not have been in here. We already covered that, but everybody covers it. The Steelers have a ton of money as far as
yeah,
the salary cap, and the cap only goes up, man. The cap only goes up. Don't matter if you're thinking short term, long term. It doesn't matter. If he's only 8% of the cap, okay.
yeah.
And if the cap keeps going up, he's still only going to be 8% of the cap. It doesn't matter. And the cap never goes down. It
Facts.
never goes down.
Total
So
facts.
you got to keep that in mind, man. Just say you
Mhm.
don't want to pay him and leave it at that, but don't try to pass it off as we don't have the money because the Steelers absolutely have the money.
Yeah, we're top 10
So
right now. I think we're number 8, B. I think we're number 8 with money available right now today. We
correct.
top yeah, so yeah, we cool, dog. We're real
Yeah,
good.
the Steelers got plenty of
Yeah,
money, man. That's
yeah,
not it.
yeah.
That's not it. So Zay said he's staying here, but he's just saying good night to everybody. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for showing up.